Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Asan Haqqani, your host for today. And we've been talking about a lot of cricket lately. We've been talking about England versus Pakistan, India versus Australia. But right now, I'm going to have an exclusive interview with someone who's been playing football and making wonders and making a name for Pakistan and himself as well. We've been joined by Kashif Siddiqi. He's a former footballer, who is a philanthropist as well, the football diplomat and co-founder of Football for Peace. Welcome to the show.
Sam, thank you for having me.
So how long has it been? You've been playing football?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I've been playing all my life. So I grew up in the UK system,
right,
and stayed part of that, then got my chance to play internationally, and then also played in the US and the Middle East.
So you've got a good pedigree.
Yeah, outside of the injuries.
Okay,
yeah.
So you've represented Pakistan as well on the international level?
That's right, yeah. So I made my debut for the under-21s and the under-23s in the Olympic qualifiers, and then from there on I played in the SAF Games in 2011 and also 2005 in the Maldives. So
it's been a while.
Yes,
you don't look that old.
Must be the good water.
Okay,
yeah.
So I believe you've also been playing for the Kashmir League, the only Pakistani who's been allowed to do that.
Yeah, so it's interesting because my last club I was on playing for Oxford United.
Okay.
And I had the opportunity on going on loan because I had a long-term injury, and I had suddenly got a chance to go to India. So I thought that would be quite interesting. Obviously,
how was the experience?
Well, having played for the national team here was interesting, and then suddenly the chance came up for Royal Kashmir FC, which is the most followed club in Asia now, because obviously they're being the most militarized zone and all the story that goes along with Kashmir. And ironically, there was an Scottish manager. They won the league. They won a BAFTA at the awards. The BBC did a documentary. They became very high profile. And then obviously to sign a player that's played for the national team of Pakistan, to some it was controversial, to some it was, this is amazing, because sports is breaking through barriers. Absolutely. It's not about where you're from, it's not about religion, it's not about culture, it's about the sport. But alhamdulillah, it was a very interesting experience. Kashmiri people and the Kashmiri food is unbelievable.
Right.
But Srinagar itself is a beautiful place. But I've learned a lot in digging myself into sports diplomacy, and seeing that how basically sport can cut through all these barriers.
You have your own academy as well and a bit of a philanthropist yourself?
So yeah, I mean, I co-founded Football for Peace actually in 2013. It started in South America, 2006. The late Kofi Annan actually announced this. Right. Elias Figueroa is a FIFA legend. I took the heritage from him. He actually was putting on peace matches in South America. I then co-founded the movement, and today we have offices internationally, and we're working with the UN on raising awareness and resource for the planet's most pressing issues.
The climate change as well?
Well, yes, because football touches 3.5 billion people.
Oh,
so
the most played sport in the world.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you see that and you look at today's issues, football has got a huge contribution to make to these issues. And I've been lobbying for a while to say actually football can really unlock these issues. Right. And that obviously brings me to Pakistan this time again with the floods and what's happening now in this catastrophe.
So what's your basic focus of coming in Pakistan this time around? So
we've partnered with British Airways.
Right.
And my really good friend Sohail Ali is a VP there, and I spoke to him when this happened. I said, look, what can we do? Obviously, I want to do something. And it was a short-term and a long-term plan. And in the short term, they've committed to basically do a partnership with us where we bring aid every month. So right now, we bought 10 tons over. And it's a start of many. We bought food, medications, clothing, etc., and emergency stuff. So now the plan is that we will be doing this every month, and we'll be distributing. So I was fortunate enough to land yesterday and go straight down to the floods. I went to Jarsada.
Yeah.
And it was very tragic because I got to see the families and the children that basically have lost their homes. The children were actually crying because they were asking their parents to go home.
Right.
But there is no home any longer because it was taken. And then what I did a live actually with Adrian, the goalkeeper from Liverpool, and he supported us a lot, and obviously with his fans, his following, playing for Liverpool, he helped raise awareness even to a further. So now I'm lobbying for other footballers to come with me to raise awareness for Pakistan. Exactly. So my plan is to bring the football awareness to this issue, because this is 40 million people displaced, 1 million animals have died. The equivalent of the whole of the UK is underwater.
Absolutely.
And this needs to stay in the news. This needs to stay current affairs right now. And my aim right now as a former Pakistan international is to make sure that this stays through the news with the football world.
Absolutely amazing. You've been doing amazing work. What about the football side of it? You've covered the philanthropy side. Have you made an academy in Pakistan as well?
No, so the plan is I want to create a long-term avenue to support footballers, especially women footballers. And obviously the Pakistan national team now, the women have kicked off and done an amazing job.
Right.
So the plan is to create a peace centre here, which we partnered with Meza Ozil in the UK.
Oh.
And we were tackling inequalities because there's not many Asian footballers in the UK. So Meza Ozil is a huge believer in South Asians in football. His biggest following is actually...
He's in the UK right now?
He's actually now in Turkey.
He lives in Turkey?
Yeah, he lives in Turkey now. So he's... his biggest following is actually Pakistan and Indonesia, ironically.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's very passionate about Pakistan. So we're thinking about, you know, potentially looking at how we can actually build a Football for Peace centre here, co-branded with perhaps Meza or other footballers, and then looking at a long-term development of Pakistani talent, because it's, you know, much as ever. And I know Michael Owen's come over and the guys are doing a great job in bringing this forward. But I think from our perspective, as much as we develop footballers on the pitch, we want to develop global citizens off the pitch, and that's the most important thing.
That is the most important thing. What about the Pakistani football men's side? I mean, do you see any potential growing up? Because Pakistan hasn't really been performing as a football team. I mean, you were a part of it.
Yeah.
But then again, Pakistan, I mean, you were a part of it, and you, I think you did an amazing job because you have the roots. You were the pedigree from the UK coming in, playing for Pakistan. We've seen many boxers doing the same thing. We've seen plenty of other sportsmen because they have the ground roots to you know, grow up to and then look forward to players that actually excel over there.
Definitely.
But we don't have much players in Pakistan. What do you make up of that?
So I think, you know, the thing is there's a lot of talent in Pakistan. Right. And that's the thing what people don't realise. When the foreign players come in, you know, to get involved, come out, I think the only thing that we've been missing for a long time is a continuation of the infrastructure. We have pockets of infrastructure. Sometimes you look at the political issues which come into it, etc. You know, that we've had an issue with FIFA for such a long time, but I know that's now being cleared up. Right. I think we just need a good span of a long term, and we need a good manager that will stay with the program and go with it and give ourselves a good shot, because obviously you look at neighbouring countries who are now doing really well. And I think Pakistan has to be on par at least over the next couple of years. And it helps with the Qatar World Cup coming up.
Absolutely.
It's a neighbouring country, it's a Muslim country. And I've been saying this as well, that I think Pakistan shouldn't be far behind this.
Plenty of football fan following over here in Pakistan.
Exactly. And we should use the momentum now of the Qatar World Cup for our youth, because I think Pakistan, you know, such a youthful country, we need to empower the youth, and we need to give them, you know, more to do. Social media, isolation, COVID-19, all of these things have been affected, you know, mental effect on children at a young age. So I really feel that we've got a unique opportunity with the Qatar World Cup. We should use it. And hopefully, inshallah, I want to meet the sports board and speak to them about this and say, look, let's not miss this opportunity.
Well, the sports board must be viewing this right now, and this is the guy, Kashif, right over here, that you guys need to meet and do something about it. He's also, I see your shirt, it says Football for Peace. Is this a part of the UN initiative? Yeah,
so I mean, with Football for Peace, it started in South America, but Kofi Annan really blessed this in 2006. Right. And we've held the baton, taken it forward. He was a big believer that sport for development can make a big difference in the world. And that's something that we've been looking at, and how we can actually take this across the world and almost look at a model where FIFA and the United Nations and Football for Peace looks in the middle for the sports diplomacy. And that's what we're working on today. But outside of soccer, we've also brought in American football now. So we just launched offices in the USA. Our actually first board member is Josh Norman, who's a 10-year veteran in the NFL.
You're talking about American football?
American football now, yeah, exactly.
All right.
So for the first time ever, we're bringing soccer and American football for peace.
Oh, under the same umbrella.
Exactly.
Wonderful,
So that's why the logo's changed to hands now. So
yeah.
But if you look at it, American football, the Super Bowl alone, and I'm not sure.
It generates a lot of income.
That's my point.
Tom Brady.
Tom
Brady,
one of
the richest sportsman
in the world, exactly. Yeah. And the viewership, 260 million just alone for the Super Bowl. Yeah. Now, if you combine that power with the power of soccer internationally, then you start to see how you can actually make change. And obviously, US is such divided times and what they're facing themselves. I know so many countries are facing so many issues. But again, I just feel that we're missing a trick with the power of sports.
Right. When we talk about the devastation that's caused in Pakistan and coming together, keeping in view the sports can bridge the borders and then making people sure that they're safe and doing your part.
Yeah.
How were the conditions over there when you went to Charsadda?
I mean, honestly, it's very tragic, and it really touched my heart to see, you know, the situation that our people are facing. And again, I think my contribution in this is short term right now when I bring the aid. However, my plan is long term. And alhamdulillah, I've got a lot of support back home. But my plan now, with obviously speaking to you guys today, speaking to the sports board hopefully, and other people, is to give me the legitimacy to go back home and to bring more support. And that's my aim. And not only from a football perspective and awareness perspective, I think that if you look at the climate situation, you know, fires, Turkey's faced a lot of fires, Australia with the bushfires, the droughts that parts of Pakistan have faced, and, you know, Africa's facing, and then the floods. If you look at it, water management is a key issue. And we're actually launching a new campaign called Rehydrating the Earth, inshallah, at the World Cup, and looking at COP27 as well. And that will look at flood, fires and droughts, and we're looking at long-term resilience.
I mean, when we talk about Pakistan, Pakistan is being affected. I mean, it's just contributing 8% to the world's climate, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and then again, Pakistan's being affected just like that. We've made a global appeal in the United Nations General Assembly as well.
Yes,
I mean, you guys are doing an amazing job.
And I think, well, hopefully, if we can line ourselves with the right partners, the right stakeholders, and get the government to buy into what we're trying to achieve, I think we've actually got a great opportunity to bring that together.
How does it work? If some government official is watching right now, and you guys want to come in and support Pakistan in the long run, given the devastation that has been caused by the floods, what do you want them to agree with? What are the terms?
So we need to look at a license to operate in Pakistan officially. I think we have the expertise and we have the case studies that we've done internationally. The plan now is to give us a commitment that this is not short term. We need a long-term buy-in from the government to say, right, this is something that we're going to go through, but also to operate from youth level. Because I feel like we need to upskill the next generation to help these issues.
Thank you for your time to B2B World, and I'm sure each and every person who's been watching, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kashif Siddiqi with us. And we'll be keeping you updated for more. Stay tuned to Sports Extra. We'll be right back after a short break.